Welcome to Saturday of week 22. It's the 4th of September. Summer's just about gone now, unfortunately, here, but never mind, it'll come around again next year. Our reading today tells us about the importance of recognizing where we have come from, recognizing the ways in which we have developed and grown. I've never understood the attraction of rowing. Although it's the best form of exercise with possible exception of skiing, which I have no intention of ever trying and never had. The thing about rowing is all you can do is see where you've been, not where you're going. And yet it's an incredibly popular sport, certainly in universities, and also there are plenty of rowing clubs. Wherever there's any water, then there's more than likely to be a rowing club not far away. People can only see where they've come from, but in some ways, that's maybe a good thing. If we could see where we were going, if we could see the future and know what was coming ahead, that could be quite frightening in many respects. I remember reading many years ago a book by a spiritualist, and she said that she knew the day when she was going to die. Whether she did or not, I don't know. That date almost certainly has passed. 40 years ago, I think, that I read the book. But I thought, that's really not information that I would want to know. The problem is, if you know when you're going to die, and sadly there are people who do, your life can be filled with regrets. I'm sure there's plenty of times when it's not. I know there's plenty of people who've had very, very fulfilled lives in their last days when they knew that they were their last days. But the danger is having a bucket list, having all these things that you want to do, and perhaps the danger is rushing through them, not doing them because you want to do them necessarily, but because they're on your bucket list. There are times when we do, unfortunately, do things because we think we should, rather than things that we want to do. There are times when we have to do certain things that we would choose not to do. But there are also times when perhaps we go along a path that deep down we're really not too sure we want to go. And certainly if we knew everything about the future, I read a book recently about the novel, obviously, of somebody who dies and comes back as a guardian angel to herself. And she has to stand by and watch while she makes the mistakes that she made in the past. If I remember rightly, it's a while ago since I read it, but if I remember rightly, she doesn't make all the same mistakes, but she does make some that are the same. And the danger for the guardian angel is that she knows what's ahead. She knows the challenges and the dangers and the mistakes that are coming. That's a difficult situation to be in. In St. Paul's letter to the Colossians, he talks about the fact that the people have come from a dark past. He says to them that in the past they lived in sin. In the past they made some bad decisions. But now they've embraced the gospel. Now is the time for them to celebrate all the good things that the gospel brings to them. The past is the past, to be left where it belongs, dead and gone. We should embrace where we are today and look to the future with confidence. And we can look to the future with confidence because we don't know what's there. We don't know what's round the corner. There are times when we know certain things are coming up, times for holidays, times for special events, and we can get very excited about those things. But by and large, we simply have to put our trust in the future. We do that by living in the present to the best of our ability. The best way of having a great future is to make sure we have the very best of what we have today. That has all kinds of permutations. The best way we can help people in the future is by recognizing what we have today, celebrating our many good gifts. I've heard it said many times, the best way of supporting people in need in the third world is to be grateful for what we have. And there are times when we are very, very grateful. I was talking to somebody recently who'd been here in England last year from Southern Africa, and I was on the phone to him, and I was saying, if you want to come back sometime, and he said, why wouldn't anybody want to come back to England? It's a safe place that's safe. It's a place where the health system is not perfect, but where you needn't be afraid of becoming ill. It's where when it's cold we can heat up our houses. When it's warm, it's quite easy now to bring cool air into our homes. We can control very much the environment in which we live. It's a safe place. Sadly, there are many parts of the world that aren't. Sometimes we look over our shoulders, look at what other people experience. We think only about the millionaires, the people who seem to have everything that they could ever want or dream about. We should never think about what other people have. We should think simply about what we have. Celebrate what we have. Recognize where we've come from, the mistakes we've made in the past and how we've overcome them, and look to the future with confidence and with hope, because we know that the one thing that's certain in the future is that God is there to support us and ultimately one day to welcome us. So thanks for watching and have a great weekend. God bless.